Okay, so we are going to start today by actually doing the first session on women's innovation and women's experimentation. Now, we did see yesterday that there were several women innovators who shared their experiences. But why are we actually doing a session for women innovators in particular? Now, as you all know, women do a lot of things all the time. Wherever in the world you are, women are juggling several things at the same time. Now, in small-scale farming communities, women are incredible multitaskers. You know, they are generally in charge of the homes, doing all the domestic work. They are also doing all of the caregiving, taking care of kids, taking care of the elderly, also the sick. So they have a lot on their plate already. And then in farming, they also do a lot of work. And some of this is often invisible. And I have to say, some of this work is also backbreaking. So you see women doing things like planting, transplanting, weeding, watering, almost always collecting fodder, milking animals. They're often there when it's harvesting, processing of crops. They're also often on the markets selling produce. So, the list goes on, and they do so much. And what we see now as a trend also is that women are also taking over some of those roles that were traditionally men's roles, because men are moving out of these communities due to various issues such as climate change, civil conflicts. And you see women nowadays in many communities where women did not plow, they are plowing. So you see these changes happening, and you see that women are taking on a much larger role also in agriculture. But as always is the case, they are not always noticed, and they are almost always disadvantaged. And therefore, in Trolinova, we say that we need to give special attention to women innovators. I remember in the early years when we started doing this work in the Trolinova network, we found in some countries, partners would say, you know, they always came up with men's innovations. And then when we said, well, what about the women? I remember clearly some people saying, but women don't innovate. Like, excuse me? So then we had to say, well, are you looking in the right places? Are you talking to the right people? And, you know, you had to stimulate people to go out there and look for those women's innovations, which are abundant, but you need to see them, as we said yesterday. And so over the years, we have made it a sort of, we give special attention to women innovators. And today we are going to have 3 women innovators in this session. 2 of them are from Kenya, and they have been involved in farmer-led research to improve their innovations. And we are going to be joined by 2 facilitators, Martha Opondo from Kenya and James TJ from South India. So now I'm just going to hand over to Martha to have a conversation with the first 2 women innovators. Over to you, Martha.
Thank you, Chesha. My name is Martha Opondo. I work for Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization. And like Chesha has said, I will be here with 2 farmer innovators from Kenya, one from Western Kenya and the other from Eastern Kenya. So our first presenter today is Rebecca, and we will request Rebecca to just give a short introduction of herself. Very short, Rebecca, just your name and a few things, and then we can go to the video and possibly have a short discussion within our 10 minutes. So, Rebecca?
Okay, kuom nyinga iluonga ni Rebecca Aumadero.
My name is Rebecca Auma Dero.
I'm a community health volunteer.
I'm a community health volunteer.
With 57 years old.
Okay, for 7 years now.
57 years old.
Oh, I'm 57 years old.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we can go to the video and then we will be able to discuss the other things about the innovation after the short video by Rebecca.
Rebecca Dero's place to see and get more information about her local innovation on sack garden irrigation kit. Well, now I would like to ask Rebecca to kindly give us a brief process about how her innovation works.
Okay. My innovation works this way. There is a sack where I plant the vegetable. Normally, I plant different vegetable. I can plant skuma or the nightshade. Any vegetable that is easily to plant, I normally plant there. If I plant there, that is the kit that carries water. That is the pipe where after planting, in the morning, I just open the water. The water will circulate there for some times, then I stop it. I go on my ways to do some other activity. In the evening, if I came back, if I found that there is need to open the water again, I normally do it for a few minutes or to 30 minutes, then I stop it. My vegetable normally grows very well and they are very healthy and they normally help me and some other my neighbors. If somebody came and asked you, can you give me a vegetable, you can give for free, or if she needs to buy, she can buy.
Interesting to note the advantages as listed by Rebecca. And now in the whole design, how did you come up with the design of the irrigation kit?
Oh, with the design, at the time I started it, I think of what can I do so that I spend a little water and a little time. Because if you carry the 20 liters of water you pour in the garden, after, if the drought is there, after a few minutes you will see the garden is dry. So it seems like you have never put there water. So I came with that method to drip the pipe so that I put a hole on it round, and I circle it round the stems of or the roots of the vegetable. So if I do that, I find that every vegetable get enough water rather than what you can just throw or pour and then after sometimes that water is dry. So I do it like that and I find it is easy and I spend a little water rather than using the one we used to pour.
Oh, great. And when it comes to resources, where did you get the resources? Any support from anywhere?
Okay, for the first time I managed to use just my normal sack and my normal 20 liters of water and the polythene pipe. I just bought it from the market. So after the Prinilova came in, they see what I have done, then they promote me. They buy for me 2 sacks from Free Kenya with the pipe and with their 100 liters of tank where I put water. So if I have put the water there, when it is full, during the drought, it can stay there even for 1 week or 1.5 when I am using it. So I spend a little time to manage my garden.
Oh, great. And are there any adjustment that you've made? Maybe from, you've listed that you started from a mere jerry can and using the normal sack. You've moved to the now bag and the small tank. Are there any other adjustments that you've made to your innovation up to now?
So my innovation make me to stretch my little farm. So I was using that one Then after that, I made that one of the bed. After that, I decided, no, this my pipe can continue helping me. So I make another garden the other side where there is now many seeds that I have harvested, and they are there. I'll also harvest them for the next plantation.
Oh, great. And with all this adjustment, the expansion, any results that you can so far say about your innovation?
The result is that I have harvested vegetable there, and I have sold them. They have helped me, because when you sold money, you can do something else with that money. So they have helped me.
Mama Rebecca.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Yes, I just want to continue to ask, as we've been talking. This innovation is very interesting. You talked about malnutrition among many households because of climate change.
Yeah.
And I want to say, how do you transfer or reach out the many households with this technology so that they can also address the issue of malnutrition and food security?
I normally go door to door,
Doctor.
health education about how we can get green vegetable fresh from our normal gardens.
Thank you. Now I want to again just have you tell us that since you've been going door to door, are you able to gauge these people, whether their nutrition or their food security is improving or income?
Okay, normally when I go door to door, I find that whatever they are making, it is just a little for their daily use. But if we can get somebody who can sponsor us to get some other buckets or some other things to give them, so that if we give even 10 household, then they do it, then the others will see, so it can promote them to make them large, so that they can have food security in their home.
Can you explain just shortly what that benefit is, and then just give us another short story where you expect to be in the next 2 years?
If I have everything that I want, I would like to extend to other communities, other districts, telling them or teaching them how to use this technology, so that in our province or in Kenya, people can have zero malnutrition.
Thank you, Rebecca. We will go to questions. So, Rebecca, you can unmute. I will ask Rebecca questions in the local language, and I'll translate it back to all of us in English. Ko Rebecca, inyalo wacho ni innovation nini osekonyi gang'o kaka ng'ama miyo kaluwore gi tijeni mapile mag ot gi mag menyo kaachiel kod yuto ni mapile.
Innovation nani osekonya e oda gi family na, omiyo nyithindo kata nyikwaya gigro healthy nikech wachamo alot mowinjore e seche te. Osekonya nikech kata ka onge pesa, ka uso alot tayudo pesa manyalo konyrago. Bende osekonya nikech kata ka awuok aselose ma ubedo maber, tawuok adhi tiyo tijena, koro aonge paro moro ni gika okethore, chien alod okethore. Nikech ang'e nasetimo gimonego atim, kaduogo to alotna dhi adhiya maber.
Okay, so the question was how the innovation has benefited her as a woman, and she says, first of all, it has benefited her in terms of household nutrition. Secondly, she's able to have excess vegetables and she can sell and earn an extra income. And thirdly, that irrigation system has given her a little bit more free time in her hands, so she can leave once she sets it up, she can leave the house she can leave her homestead and go and attend to other duties outside the home, while she's confident that her vegetables are doing okay. So penjo machielo, Rebecca, inyalo wacho ni innovation ni isepime ne jok moko maromo nadi kata mana joma chalo nadi to moloyo jok mine be ipime ne jomoko be winje?
Asepime ni ji winje kendo asedhi kode asepuonje women groups. Tie women groups ma kilimogi tiyudo ka jomoko kuomgi ose adapt kendo ging'eyo gima gitim kendo giwacho no ber osekonyogi.
Okay, so the question was whether she has shared it out, and she says that she has taught it to other women, especially in the women groups, and there are a number of women groups who have already adopted the innovation, and it is assisting them in their normal vegetable production. So Rebecca, penjo machielo, ki wuotho oko kata kuonde miwuothe women groups, be iseyudo ka joma mine mamoko be temo timo innovations magi makendgi mopogre kata gi mari mitimoni?
Okay, aseyudo moko timo mopogore, aseyudo moko loso matunda ka gikete sak kaka naketo mane sak no. Be moko ba yudo ka kete gunia ma just normal kaka gunia mar simiti do ka gikete alot tineno ka timo maber.
Okay, so the question was whether she has witnessed women experimenting on their own, not necessarily adopting her innovation, but trying to experiment in other ways. And she says, yes, there have been women who are also trying to experiment on their own, doing many things, and including vegetable production, and also adapting different types of materials depending on what is available in their locality. So Rebecca, penjo mogik, bedo ni in kaka ng'ama miyo mani kende, nyalo bet ni intiere kod challenges moko ma in kaka small scale innovator experience. Ineno kata gik moko ma samoro nyalo wacho ni chandi kaluwore gi weche mag innovation kata weche mamoko moluwore kod tije mitiyogi. So in kaka ng'ama miyo, inyalo wacho ni ginang'o gang'o mose. Okay, apenjo ni isebedo gi challenges machalo nadi kaka ng'ama miyo ma wanyalo wacho ni the small scale innovator.
Okay, challenge masebedo go as a innovator en mana kaka nyalo stopi. Mar ariyo en ni anyalo gombo mondo adhi apuonj jowetewa kata mabor gi kama antie, but kaka nyalo dhi machop kuro mondo mi joka be apuonj mondo ng'e gima timore mondo gin be gitim. Mage challenges maneno. Mar adek en ni innovation nitie ka ng'ato dwaro na expand, nitie tiye moko manyalo tamo ng'ama dhako tiyo mabiro chuni ni dwar ng'ama dichuo mondo okonyi.
Kaka ang'o minyalo dwaro ni ng'ama dichuo mondo okonyi?
Awach for example, ka adwaro keto kama duong' tadwaro ni mondo timne fence kata ichiele gi kudho kata ang'o. Ng'ama dhako ok anyal tong'o kudho machiel go kamoro malach mondo aketie gimoro, dwaro ng'ama dichuo. Koro mano biro hitaji ni nyaka iti kod pesa mondo itim ang'o kilose. Kaka wach pi. Yeah.
Okay, so the question was the challenges that she has experienced as a woman who is on her own. Rebecca is a widow, and she says the first and foremost is water storage is limited, kind of. So even as much as she's conserving water and she's able to do much with little, she probably would wish for a little more storage capacity. And she also says that she would wish to reach out to many more women to be able to see. At the moment, she's not able to do that. She's only able to do it within the locality where she works. And thirdly, she talks about some activities that she cannot be able to do as a woman. Like if she needs to fence, she needs additional labor to do that, and probably from a man, which she's not able to get for a moment. And possibly the last question, Rebecca, nitiere jok madwa ng'eyo gima nomiyo kata kaka ni chako innovation. En gima ni tuo morigo, en gima ni neno kuom ng'ato Koso nobedo nadie kichako?
Gini nachake kana ote household maker. Nayudo ka nyithindo nigi shida mar malnutrition. Koro napenjora ne nang'o madwa tim nikech my area ne ji ok cham alot, be alot no ne onge, ne ging'iyo gomen. So mane omiyo nabet piny maparo nalos gima nyalo kelo alot machiegni kinde duto mondo ji ocham alot, mondo ji one ber mar alot, mondo watiek shida mar malnutrition in the community. Mane omiyo nachake.
Okay, to sak garden ni modify gang'o? Ni chako nang'o kore kichopo kama intie gunia no?
Nachako mokwongo gi gunia, just normal gunia miketo ga oduma. Then utieko sama few months to barore, koro chieng' otwoye oyiech. Then the world neighbor kanobiro siri, walosa group miluongo nurudi. Then ne gimiyowa polythene bags. Koro achako gi polythene bags no. Taneno kodhi maber. Then the Prinilova come up. Then kore momiya sak matiyogo nyaka sani.
We can now move to Benigna.
All right, Benigna.
Here I am.
Yeah, okay. So Benigna is a small-scale innovator from a village called Ngekini in Makueni County, and this is in Eastern Kenya. And together with her husband, they produce fruits and vegetables. And today she's going to give us a presentation on her innovation, which is about a fruit fly trap that she uses to control pests for her fruits. So Benigna, perhaps you can introduce yourself before we show the video.
Okay, I'm Benigna Mumbua from Kenya, Makueni County, Kilome Division, Ngekini Village. I'm a farmer and I'm a small farmer where I do with organic fruit fly trap.
Okay, so we can show the video.
Today we are here at Benigna's place in Ngekini village of Kasikeu ward in Makueni County to know more about the improvement that she has made in her local innovation organic fruit fly trap. Welcome, Benigna.
I do the farming with the assistance of my husband who is here, and we like to improve our community by using organic farming.
Maybe if you can explain to us what your local innovation is all about.
I do with fruits. For example, here I have a avocado fruit, which I have used the organic fruit fly, and it's doing on well.
How do you make your local organic fruit fly trap?
These are the materials I use to make the juice. I use lemon. This is lemon juice. I use the juice. I also use honey. 1 glass of lemon juice. I add 1 tablespoon of honey, and I use 2 glasses of water. I add together and I stir well, so that I make this juice, which I use it as the medicine I use. I go on, I use local materials. These are the bottles we use for water. I just do holes all around. Halfway, I do holes whereby the insect comes and gets in, and they are being trapped. I used it by hanging. Let's get inside the bottle. They know they don't fly away because they are being trapped by the lemon juice, which is inside the honey and the water. Thereby, I use the insects to feed my young chicks at home. Okay, I do the work with the help of my husband, who is just here, and he can say more about the innovation.
In this form of innovation, it is cheap because we just use local materials like lemons, water, honey. The materials are available in our farm. We use the organic trap, fruit fly trap to control fruit fly insects. We control them in mango trees, guavas, pumpkins, and also in lemon fruits.
Now, having heard of how the local the innovation is being concocted, could you kindly tell us what made you embark on this local innovation?
What made me to do this innovation? I was sometimes going around my farm and I see a lot of fruits which are just on the ground due to insects, and I had not enough money to buy the angropate medicines. So I decided to do something to see whether I can prevent it.
Okay, and as a result of the improvements, maybe are there some results? Maybe in terms of the efficacy, it is now working better than before.
Okay, for now, it's doing on well, because when I go around the farm, even if you find fruits which are falling off, they are so few. It's not like they are before.
Okay, Madam Mombua, it's good that you are doing this innovation. And maybe have you shared this innovation with other people?
Okay, the innovation I've shared with a lot of people by now. I even share it with the groups who come and come here so that I help them. And I even help my neighbors to do it on their own chambers.
Are there any challenges?
In challenges, they are so few because the materials are so locally and we get them locally in our chambers. So we have no challenges.
There are no challenges, yeah? And maybe with your own projection, where do you see yourself maybe in 5 years to come? Where do you see yourself?
Okay, in 5 years to come, I see I will have grown up and I will have been enlarged. And many of my neighbors and my family will be grown up.
Okay, grown up in terms of?
Fruits.
Yes, having many fruits.
Having many fruits, having many trees in their chambers.
Okay.
And the organic, making them to be more healthy.
I'm very happy to introduce our innovator, Mrs. Simi KV. She is from Kannur, Kerala. She has developed a simple method of rooting in pepper. Pepper is one of the major crop in Kerala. It is propagated by stem propagation. And rooting of the pepper is usually done by applying chemical application. And he has developed a very herbal method for rooting of pepper. Can you show the video? After that, we can talk. We can ask some questions to Simi.
നിങ്ങൾ ഇട്ട് വയ്ക്കുമോ?
ഇങ്ങനെ ഇട്ട് വെക്കും 12 മണിക്കൂർ. കട്ടിങ്സ് കൊണ്ട് എടുക്കട്ടെ ഞാൻ.
സിമി കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ?
കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ട് സർ.
Simi, this is Simi. She is from Kannur of Kerala. She has developed this simple method of propagation of pepper. ഞാൻ കുറച്ച് ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ ചോദിക്കാം മലയാളത്തിൽ, എന്നിട്ട് അത് ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം. ഈ കണ്ടുപിടുത്തം എന്താണെന്നൊന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ? എന്താണ് ഈ കണ്ടുപിടുത്തം എന്ന് ചുരുക്കി
പറയാം. അതായത് ഒരു നഴ്സറി നടത്തുന്ന വ്യക്തിയാണ് ഞാൻ. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ നഴ്സറിയിൽ ചെടികൾക്ക് വേര് പിടിക്കാനും പെട്ടെന്ന് മുളയ്ക്കുവാനും വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ഉപയോഗിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരുന്ന ഇളനീര് വെള്ളമോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ IBA എന്ന ഹോർമോണോ ആണ് യൂസ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. പക്ഷെ ഇത് രണ്ടും കോസ്റ്റ്ലി ആയതിനാൽ, എന്നാൽ നമുക്ക് ഒരു ഫാർമറെ സംബന്ധിച്ച് എത്രത്തോളം കോസ്റ്റ്ലി കുറച്ച് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും എന്ന രീതിയിൽ ചിന്തിച്ചപ്പോൾ പല ഈ മുരിങ്ങ, ചീമക്കൊന്ന ഇതുപോലുള്ള പല മരങ്ങളും പെട്ടെന്ന് മുളയ്ക്കുന്ന മരങ്ങളെ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ആ മരങ്ങളുടെ ഇലകൾക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു കഴിവുണ്ടാകും, ചെടികൾക്ക് മുളയ്ക്കുവാനുള്ള എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു സാധ്യത അതിന്റെ ഇലകൾക്കോ അതിന്റെ നീരിനോ ഉണ്ടാകും എന്ന് ഞാൻ ചിന്തിച്ചിട്ട് അതിൽ നിന്നും പല ഇലകളും എടുത്ത് അതിന്റെ എംഷനുകൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്ത് നോക്കി. അതിനകത്ത് പ്രധാനമായിട്ട് ചീമക്കൊന്ന മുരിങ്ങയായിരുന്നു കൂടുതൽ യൂസ് ചെയ്ത് നോക്കിയത്. കാരണം അതിന് ആ ചെടികളുടെ കമ്പുകൾ എവിടെ ഇട്ടാലും എത്ര ഇതായി കിടന്നാലും വേഗം മുളയ്ക്കുന്നതായി കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് അങ്ങനെ നോക്കിയത്. അതിൽ മുരിങ്ങയിലയുടെ എമിഷൻ, അതായത് തലേന്ന് വെള്ളത്തിൽ, അതായത് ഇളം തളിര് ഇലയെടുത്ത് അത് രാത്രിയിൽ വെള്ളത്തിലിട്ട് വെച്ച് അത് രാവിലെ അത് നന്നായിട്ട് പിഴിഞ്ഞെടുക്കുന്ന ആ വെള്ളം എടുത്ത് ആ വെള്ളത്തിൽ നമ്മൾ നടാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്ന ചെടിയുടെ കമ്പുകൾ മുക്കി വെച്ച് അത് പിന്നീട് നടുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ IBA ആണെങ്കിലും ഇളനീരാണെങ്കിലും യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നതിനും കാട്ടിയും 99% അതിന് മുളയ്ക്കുന്നതായിട്ട് കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. അങ്ങനെയാണ് അത് ഞാൻ യൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ കാരണം.
ഞാനത് ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലേക്ക് ആക്കാം. What I have asked is that what is the innovation? I asked her to describe the innovation. She was saying she was an entrepreneur. She was running a nursery, so rooting is very important for her. Usually, either tender coconut water from tender coconut is used for sprouting the roots, or they use a chemical fertilizer IBM. These two are very costly. A small farmer can't afford. So she was thinking some herbal or simple method for rooting of pepper. So she know that this moringa has very good ability. Even we put some stems or stems of moringa on the floor, no, within 2-3 days new leaves will sprout out. So that triggered her. It has some efficiency to rooting of stem. So she tried that. She collected the leaves of moringa and put it in the water for 12 hours and dipped the pepper stems in that water, and she found that the roots are coming out from the pepper. I will ask the second question. How long you have been, എത്ര നാളായി ഇത് ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങിയിട്ട്, എത്ര ആളുകൾ ഇത് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്, ആരൊക്കെ അവിടെ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്, കൃഷിഭവൻ അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ആളുകളൊക്കെ പോയി ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കാറുണ്ടോ, അങ്ങനെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളൊന്നും പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ?
ഇത് യൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ തുടങ്ങിയിട്ട് ഇപ്പൊ 7 വർഷമായി. ആദ്യമായിട്ട് ഈ ഒരു കണ്ടുപിടുത്തം പുറത്തേക്ക് പറഞ്ഞത് സ്റ്റേറ്റ് അവാർഡ് കമ്മിറ്റിക്കാര് വീട്ടിൽ വന്നപ്പോഴായിരുന്നു. പിന്നീട് സ്റ്റേറ്റ് അവാർഡ് കിട്ടിയപ്പോഴും പല സ്ഥലങ്ങളിൽ വെച്ച് ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കാൻ വിളിച്ചപ്പോഴും ഈ കാര്യങ്ങൾ പറയുകയുണ്ടായി. പിന്നെ യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി തലത്തിൽ ക്ലാസ്സുകൾ കൊടുക്കുന്ന ഫാർമേഴ്സിന് അവിടെയുള്ള പ്രൊഫസർമാർ ക്ലാസിന്റെ ഇത് അവരോട് പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കാറുണ്ട്.
I asked that how long back she has developed method and how she conveyed the news to the other community and how it is diffused. And she was saying you are developed around 7 years back, and she got a award from state government as a best women farmer. For that, award committee visited her house, and during their visit she communicated this simple method to them, and this they have communicated to other state universities and other formal institutions, and they used to call him for seminars and training programs, and she used to take classes about this method. So she has conducted several training programs, and she communicated these methods to the farmers, and large numbers of farmers have adopted this method. ഇനി എനിക്ക് ചോദിക്കാനുള്ളത് ഒരു സ്ത്രീകളുടെ എന്റർപ്രണർ ആണ്, സ്ത്രീകളുടെ ഒരു കണ്ടുപിടുത്തത്തിന് ഉള്ള ഒരു സപ്പോർട്ട് നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിലുണ്ടോ? അതിനെ കുറിച്ചൊന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ? സ്ത്രീകൾക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും സപ്പോർട്ട് കിട്ടുന്നു, ഇങ്ങനെ ചെയ്ത കണ്ടുപിടുത്തം കിട്ടുന്നവർക്ക് സപ്പോർട്ട് കിട്ടുന്നുണ്ടോ? അതിനെ കുറിച്ച് എന്താ പറയാനുള്ളത്?
സ്ത്രീകള് എന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചിട്ട് മാറ്റി നിർത്തുന്നതായിട്ട് എനിക്ക് തോന്നിയിട്ടില്ല. നമ്മുടെ കഴിവുകളെ പ്രത്യേകതയായിട്ടൊന്നും കാണുന്നില്ല. എല്ലാവരെ പോലെ തന്നെ സ്ത്രീ ആണെന്ന് വിചാരിച്ച് മാറ്റി നിർത്തുന്നതായിട്ട് കണ്ടിട്ടില്ല.
I have asked that as a women innovator, she is getting recognition or support from the formal institutes or formal sector. She was saying that there is no difference between male innovator and women innovator. Both are considered equally. So she didn't find any distinction between male innovators and female innovator. ഇത് കൂടാതെ വേറെ എന്തെങ്കിലും കണ്ടുപിടുത്തങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടോ? ഇത് കൂടാതെ വേറെ എന്തെങ്കിലും കണ്ടുപിടുത്തങ്ങൾ നടത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ടോ?
വേറെ ഒന്നും പ്രാക്ടിക്കലായിട്ട് വന്നിട്ടില്ല. കണ്ടുപിടുത്തങ്ങൾ ശ്രമിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇതൊന്നും സക്സസ് ആയിട്ട് പറയാൻ മാത്രം, പുറത്തു വരാൻ മാത്രം ആയിട്ടില്ല. പുതിയ ക്രോപ്പുകളൊക്കെ
I have asked that whether she has developed any other innovations related to farming sector. She told that she has tried several methods, but this was most successful, and this is highly appreciable by the farming community. ഇനി എന്തെങ്കിലും വേറെ എന്തെങ്കിലും പറയാനുണ്ടോ? ഇതൊരു ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ ഫോറം ആണ്, ഇതിനകത്ത് സിമിക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും പറയാനുണ്ടോ?
പ്രത്യേകിച്ചിട്ടൊന്നുമില്ല.
She's thanking the network. The network get an opportunity to interact with the innovators from all over the world. He specifically thanks the network, Prawn Lava Network, for this opportunity. Thank you very much. Nandi, Simi. Thank you. Over to Desha.
Thank you very much, Martha, Rebecca, Benigna. Thank you very much, James and Simi. And I am now going to conclude this session and hand it over to Bernard Triumph, a long-term friend, supporter, and also a member of the Prolinova Oversight Group. Over to you, Bernard.